Hi everybody, this is my video for today is the intro to my Anet 6 3D printer, which I bought off eBay a couple of weeks ago for £120, second hand, all made, a few mods done to it. It's exciting. I bought this basically to build the models for my model railway and a couple of bits from my motorbike. Now I'm a total novice at this. I'd never even seen one before. I asked on Facebook if anyone local had one. Lad up the road from me said he'd got one. He just started using it. I could go up and have a look at his. I just wanted to see if whether it'd be any good for my models and whether I could do it, because I'm a bit of an idiot on the computer. But made some good prints so far. Alright, my model railway is tiny, it's N gauge, and that's ever so difficult. When you, I'll explain in a minute about where you get your prints from. But I was making this model boat, which came out, let me show you, this was the scale that it came out at, but I'll explain to you about support in a minute if you don't know what that is. But when it's building, see, like when it's building the back section of the boat and the roof and the bow, it has to build some support, otherwise the plastic sags. If you've never seen a 3D printer before, it builds it in layers. So it's like it's got the model in the program, and it chops it all up into thin layers, and it builds it from the bottom up. As you can see what it's doing here. It starts from the bottom, and then layer by layer by layer it builds it up. If you can see the layers in the light, I don't know if you can see it there. You can see it on the back. Anyway, so it builds it all up, covers it in support. Now certain things you can build without support. And if you look at this, so I'm shrinking the scale down. I don't know if you can see that. If you can see on the front of the boat there, the support is so strong with the things that I'm making. It's not focusing very well. There you go. You can see all that gnarly old support in there, which is meant to really break off. Now I don't know enough yet to support the. See, if you can see all that around the edge there, that will come right away. But it, like on the back, it broke all the structure of the boat off, and I think you can adjust the support so there's less and less and less of it, and I'll probably learn that as I go along. But here's a one I made. This is my final scale, which I turned the support off. Will not focus. This is what problem we had when we were doing the bike videos. There you go. Now the detail is absolutely fantastic. There's even like a coil of rope. There's some buckets. There's even a man inside the wheelhouse there. It's absolutely amazing. Now I built this lighthouse. I want a lighthouse on the layout. Let me leave this on the table. It might focus it there. So that's the scale it came out. Well, I wanted it slightly bigger, so I increased the scale by 50%, and this is what it came out. It is amazing. Now inside all this structure, if I can see it and hold it up to the light, I don't think you can see it, there's a honeycomb, builds a honeycomb inside that, so it's all supported. And the detail, it's fantastic. So if you can imagine, I'm building a dockside, and there's going to be an outcrop of rock which has got the lighthouse on, and there'll be a dockside, and a couple of boats coming in, fishing boats, a cargo boat coming in, being pulled in by a tanker. We built this one the other day. That's slightly the wrong scale. I want to make that a little bit bigger. But as an entry-level printer, if you've got a third party that can just show you the basics, show you how to download stuff from the internet, what I'll probably do is get the laptop up and running and show you how you pluck things off of this site called Thingiverse, download stuff to an app on your computer, sort out what you want to do to it, and we'll talk through that. Download it to your SD card, you plug your SD card in here, whack it up on the screen there, off she goes. I'm building here a new fan. You can see, let me point to it. See that little white thing going down the back there? There's a fan on the back here, and when it's building sections which are a little bit intricate or overhang slightly, it cools the plastic down. And the fan is running up there. I don't know if you can see it, it's at 14% at the moment. So when it gets to a thin bit, whacks up to 100% and then drops back down again. But that fan, we had a disaster and that fan came off. You've got the nozzle there that the plastic comes out of, that's red hot. So what it does, it feeds the plastic in through the top, down into this extruder, and that's why this film's not focused. I haven't got my glasses on. I've done something to it then. Yeah, so it pushes the plastic into that tip. It's got a tiny little hole in it. Feeds it in to whatever the computer program is telling it to do. That fan, it's got a fan on the side there which is cooling that down, and then it's got a fan here which, when it's doing the extra finicky bits, it gives it an extra cool. Now the other day, I left it running to build something, and the program was slightly too big for the bed. Well, it's not too big for the bed, but it's got this belt clamp on here that the chap made. You make all these bits yourself, these extra bits, but he made, if you look on that side, the belt clamp is tiny, that white thing there. The one on this side is enormous, and it ran along there, it hit the, where's the end of it? It hit the end of this, jumped a tooth, shot back along here, knocked that stop switch off. So then it was just bang, 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 banging at that end, and it did that. I thought the program was running, because I've had this up in the loft, in the man cave, and I can hear it running. I think, oh, that's all right. And when I went up and checked it, the wire had run out. That switch is laying off. The screws missing off the bottom of here. It's melted a hole in the bed. It was all a massive disaster. And it's just taken me about an hour to get the bed all level again and setting the tip at the right height. I did have to phone Sam up the road for some help yesterday because I couldn't figure out how to do it, because in all the banging you've got another, this stop switch here stops it running across the bed horizontally, and there's another stop switch there which turns it off when it's going up and down, and that had moved because it was banging around up there. Luckily it didn't fall off, but we're back off and running again now. So you can see there it's building this semicircular fan that's going to go around the tip. This is all the air ducting. Now it doesn't quite look like it's formed them properly to me. It looks like there's a gap in there. The height of the tip off of the bed when you start off is imperative. You get a sheet of paper and you adjust these 4 screws on the corners up and down to get the tip exactly the right height. But in all that banging, the thread stripped on the one in the corner here, and it's causing a bit of problems. What we're probably going to have to do is get a nut and that. Now you can get a self-leveling device to fit on this. They're so clever, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I better tick off. 20 past 9, got to go and do some work. It's been raining, so it's soaking wet out there. I might do another video later because I'm fitting a pressurised water filter into a lady's pond. So we might do another video on that later. But I'm only doing these videos to try and impart the knowledge that I've been sucking out of people for the last 40 years, trying to learn stuff. A lot of people in my family are overflowing with knowledge, but now you've got YouTube and you can suck all this information off of YouTube. Just trying to put a bit back in really, with all my crazy hobbies to keep my brain going, because I'm 50 next week. Anyway, I hope that might be some use as an intro. for people that are like me, just looking for a bit of information before they go out and buy something. This is an Anet 6. They do an Anet 8 newer version, but you need to look on YouTube because there's a couple of blokes say that this one is a better version. But you have to do all that research. It's all part of the fun. Don't forget, subscribe if you can. Trying to build up the followers. I'll see you guys later.